Welcome into Delaware Live Sports Weekly program here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Christiana, Delaware, for our second show in a row centered around spring sports. And tonight on the program we have St. Mark's baseball and we have the Archmere Hawks softball coach and a couple of the players. They're joining us now on the dais. So let's welcome in head coach Dan Pisani of the Archmere team, who's off to a 3-4 start against some very tough pitching you faced early in the year.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Glenn. Our starting schedule's been tough. We've won 3 games that we really figured we'd win. We lost 4 games that we knew were going to be tough for us. But we always know each year we want to challenge our kids. There's a lot of really good softball in this state, and we want our kids to see the best of it. So when you have a week like our last week where you see Carly Maxson and Carolyn Yoder in the same week, that's tough. But our girls really responded well to it. They worked hard for it. They knew what the challenge was, and the hope's going to be that you prepare hard, you battle against pitchers like that. As tough as the next 4 pitchers we see are going to be, hopefully those battles they just went through are going to prepare them for what they're going to see later on this season.
Now, I know you've worked a few years with Brian Timpson down at Apo High, and now did you give him like a little elbow jibe and say, hey, Brian, my players put the ball in play against Yoder more than your team?
No comment, I guess, on that there. Brian and I are good friends. We talked a lot about the game, obviously, and I'll just say it felt good to get a runner on base. It felt good it's not easy to put a runner on base against Kaylin Yoder, but we were pretty proud of the fact that we made them make a few plays and we put some runners on, and we did some things that maybe other teams couldn't do.
You brought a couple of your seniors along with you. Let's start with your starting pitcher, Terry Connor, not the other way around, Connor Victoria. That's the football player at Archmere.
Yeah.
There's the confusion.
Yeah, and people, get us confused. Apparently there was some, miscommunication with the AP tests.
So you're not really a middle linebacker or a fullback. Okay, see, I asked you if you played other sports, and you said no. Well, we know you're tough, because earlier in the year I was at the game. I can't remember who you were playing, but you took a line drive right off the body. I did that when I was playing slow pitch softball, and I wore the stitches. Did you wear the stitch marks?
Yeah, there was definitely stitch marks right on the collarbone, and I definitely was showing everyone at school the massive bruise.
It's like the badge of courage.
Yep.
Now, I'm sure your mom and dad got a joke out of that later, but the night it happened, it was a pretty scary thing.
No, it's still not a joke with them. They're still freaked out about it.
You also brought your starting center fielder, Ryan Vitola, along, and now I'm hearing rumors that Yoder hit a couple of home runs on you, but Ryan went through the fence for one.
I mean, I kind of landed on it the one time because the ball was close to the fence, so I thought I could reach, but the fence just falls over, so it didn't work out well. I couldn't try to rob it.
She covers a lot of ground out there for you.
Yeah, she does. And she's trying to get over, she's covering most of the outfield, so she's going to try and get over the fence to one. That's fine, too. So.
Why don't you two girls tell me what your plans are after you graduate, which is coming up here, your seniors, and I know you're going to miss them, but Tori, let's start with you. What are your plans after high school?
Next year I'm going to the College of Worcester in Ohio, and I'm going to be playing there.
Okay, good for you.
I'm going to the University of South Carolina next year.
Very good school. You're going to be a Gamecock. You know, there are some Delaware high school athletes down there playing football.
Really?
Yeah, some pretty good ones. Yeah, I'll fill you in later on that.
Okay.
Why don't you, Dan, take a moment and just talk about these two and what they've meant to your program over the years.
Yeah, these two are special ones. They both would have started for us as freshmen. Obviously, as all senior athletes know, spring athletes, their freshman year was the COVID year. The year didn't happen.
Right.
That year, we would have been a pretty senior-heavy team. We had 6 seniors who were going to start for us, some pretty good ball players, and Tor was going to be our pitcher. Rye was going to be our center fielder. And it would have been a great year for them to kind of learn from these kids who had also been in their program a while. But the next year, those kids gone, they've had to step up and take a leadership role from the time they were sophomores. Rye has been our 100% of the time center fielder and 2-hitter for 3 years now. Tori's been our 100% of the time pitcher and leadoff hitter for 2 years now. And aside from being great softball players, I've got to watch them kind of grow as people and as young adults the last 3 years. and really as leaders. And I told both of them this. We played Delaware Christian the other day, and we didn't play a great game. Obviously, they're good. We didn't play well. But what's most impressive to see out of these two is it was 12-0 in the 5th inning. We're at the play in the bottom of the 5th. The game's essentially over. 3 more outs, we go home. And these two are our loudest voices. They're both up on the dugout. They're both talking up to our batters. They're encouraging. They're giving advice. And again, that's just the type of people they are. They're gamers. They're both tough. You mentioned, Tor taking a ball in the chest, Rye going through the fence. Like, they both give you everything they have. They work really hard for it. And again, as a coach, you coach for a while, talent comes and goes, right? You get to coach talented kids. But it's the people like this that they make the impact, because it's tough to replace the leaders and the people they are.
Now I'm going to throw it over to you two. We'll start with Ryan. What has it meant to you to play for Archmere and this coach?
What does it mean?
Yeah, what has it meant to you?
It's meant a lot because during my years of softball, I think it's like the relationships I've made with people has meant the most to me besides playing. And I remember when I was a freshman and a sophomore and a junior, our seniors and even our juniors on the team were just such good captains, and they would always be there for you, whether it had to do with softball or not. And I've met some of my best friends through softball, and it's always something to look forward to at the end of the day. I find practice to be so fun. If I had a bad day, it's just a good way to reset and feel better.
Tori?
Yeah, it's definitely, I've made so many friends through it, and just there's something so special about representing your sport through, your school through your sport. And
right.
Like Mr. Bassani said, we had 6 seniors leave our freshman year during COVID, and so we were kind of left. It was just a fresh slate, and me, Ryan, and all the upperclassmen got to really kind of build the team and mold it to how we wanted it to be and how we wanted the work ethics of the girls to be. And it's been really cool to see it grow over the years since we started.
All right, now for a couple of real tough questions. First one is, I don't know whether you're a fan of wings or boneless wings or naked tenders, but when you go to Buffalo Wild Wings, what's your go-to sauce, your dipping sauce?
Lemon pepper.
Lemon pepper.
Honey barbecue.
Honey barbecue. Coach.
You're some mild Buffalo guy.
Mild Buffalo guy, okay. And then the second tough question is, I don't think you do this at Archmere because I don't think you have a PA system, but some schools you go to, they have a walk-up song. So if you had to choose a walk-up song, what would it be?
Gangsta Gangsta by NWA.
Tori?
My walk-up song for travel is the Rocky theme song.
Rocky
so
theme, yeah. Dan, what's your walk-up music?
Jeez, I'd probably have to let my kids pick it, so it'd be some kind of Disney song probably. Depends whatever they'd go with, I guess.
Oh, my goodness. Nobody ever asked the moderator, but if I had a choice, mine would be September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Good choice.
Just thought of that there.
Well done.
Little bouncy thing I could walk up there, too. All right, final comments from all of you. We'll start with you, Tori. Your senior year, you got a handful of games left. What's maybe the most important memory that you take away from this experience?
Definitely just the fun that I have with my teammates, and at the end of the day, I'm not going to remember going on the wins and the losses, but I'm going to remember the tough games that we had with each other, the fun, the laughs that we had together, and just the time that I spent with the girls, and just really appreciating that and soaking that all in.
So your special memory wasn't getting hit with the ball and going down?
That's gonna be up there.
All right, Ryan, do you have a special memory of your years at Archmere?
I think it was when we went down to Laurel. Was that last year?
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago, we went down to Laurel for, was it the second round of the playoff game?
Yeah.
It was the second round of the playoffs, and it was the open bracket, so everyone just got to play. And we went into it kind of knowing it would be a really difficult game, but we put up a really good fight. We had a lot of fun, and we made it a close game. We held them pretty close for a lot of the game.
That's a good memory. I remember being there. And Dan, I have to tell you, after the game was over and the girls were back on the bus, I saw you on your cell phone, I guess talking to your wife, and you kept saying, they played so great. It's the best game they played all year. You were real excited about what they did.
Yeah, that's a great memory. And to piggyback what both of them said, for Tori, part of the great memories of this program, of these girls in this program, right, is just the everyday. It's walking out to our field, it's having a fun practice, just the little things that go on in practice. And then going down to Laurel 2 years from the playoffs, just the fun, but that's why we said at the beginning, playing these challenging games, those are fun ones. Playing St. Mark's last week, getting on the board, knowing we're in the game, having these girls keep telling their teammates, hey, it's only 3, we're not done yet. Those opportunities to play with the best and try and beat the best, those are the things that really are the most fun. And hopefully our best memory, hopefully their best memory hasn't happened yet, right? Hopefully we got 11 more games plus hopefully playoffs, right? And hopefully the best memory is going to be, we got some big games coming up, and hopefully the best memory is going to be a fun win in one of those games too.
You have Conrad coming up tomorrow on the road. And then hopefully, weather permitting, we'll be broadcasting live your game Saturday down in Lewis against Cape Henlopen High School. Looking forward to that.
We're looking forward to it. We're so appreciative to be on the stream, and it should be a great softball game.
All right. Thanks for everybody being up here and putting up with me for the last couple of minutes. We enjoyed having you on the program.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate being on.
All right. When we come back, we'll have the St. Mark's baseball team right after these messages.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings, segment number 2, and we're joined now by the head coach of the St. Mark Spartans baseball team.
Assistant coach.
The assistant coach of the
Don't get
Take
that
Two.
wrong.
He told me to call him Rat. So here's Coach Rat and the top-ranked St. Mark Spartans. Guys off to a great start, 11-0 record. Talk about the season so far.
Yeah, we've been getting lucky. We had a good game plan coming this season, preseason, what our expectations were. And, at St. Mark's baseball team, we don't like to lose. So every week we come in ready to win a game. I think we feel like we have guys that we can move around the field.
Okay.
Smitty does a great job of, our head coach, Matt Smith, knows who he wants to put in certain situations against certain teams, other pitchers, good pitching matchups. But we feel like with this team we have this year, we can move guys around from outfield to infield. We have good utility guys. We have guys that, if they're on the bench and their number's called, it's their job to come up and, get on base, score runs. So, and every one of these seniors here, they bought into the program early, as 6th, 7th, and 8th graders out of schools. They knew where they wanted to come to high school. They knew who they wanted to play for. And, Coach Matt Smith, his legacy speaks for itself.
So you want me to call you Coach Red. How about Matt Smith? Do we have a
We call
nickname
him
for him?
Smitty.
Just Smitty?
Yep.
All right. Nothing worse than that, guys?
Nah.
Oh, yeah, they're shaking their heads. Okay. He might be watching this.
My name's too hard to say. It's Radishevitz. It's a lot of syllables. Can I buy a vowel?
Okay, Vanna. Why don't we let each one of the players introduce themselves? You can pass the microphone around as to who we have on the dais up here. And we'll start down on the end.
My name is Zach Frame.
My name is John Klepacki.
I'm Ryan Smith.
I'm James Buffone. Garrett Quinn.
I'm Todd Gallardi.
All right. Good job, guys. That's the tough stuff. Now, we'll start down on the end again. We heard Coach talk about the season so far. What's your impression of how things have gone? I mean, 11-0, you can't do any better than that.
Yeah, nothing better.
So
nothing better than that, really. I mean, we still got something to prove by winning that state championship, but I'm really excited about the start we have right now.
Same here. I mean, I think we just got to keep winning and playing the way we've been playing and just get the job done.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're out there having fun. I'm having a good time, and so is the rest of the team, I think.
It's obvious we don't have enough microphones, just like we don't have enough baseballs probably to go around. Okay, let's get some of the guys in the back. Your impressions of the season so far?
I think we're playing well. We just got to keep battling and playing tough teams that'll get us prepared for the playoffs.
Well, I just feel if we stay focused, and I feel like we can't lose the rest of the season.
All right, you had a couple of big wins mixed in there in that 11-0 mark. Of course, you defeated Salesianum, the Apo Jags, and Conrad. A couple of those games went into the late innings, and you had walk-off win against the Sally. So tell us what those victories have meant for the program this year.
As far as the coaching staff, man, that's, you put a game plan together and you can't predict how the game's going to go. You start seeing a mistake made here and there that you think is going to cost you. But, with Sally's being our rival every year, James came up to the plate, did his job, scored Garrett Quinn. It was a bang play at the plate. Could have went either way, and I mean, Garrett was totally safe. But I mean, these guys play for each other. They practice for each other. They pick each other up. There are little games that they play at practice just to keep each other going because it can be mundane sometimes. Right. I mean, it's baseball. It's a slow sport, right? So there's only so much you could do in preparing for the next game. But I mean, these guys know how to keep each other up, and they have their own conversations in that dugout all the time on what's next, who's stepping up, and it just seems like this crew right here. I mean, even though our team's behind us, this crew right here, these senior leaders, and basically our bona fide captain right here, Garrett Quinn, man, he goes off. He wants to win. I mean, a loss to him it ruins a day for him. So.
Let's go right around again, starting it on the end. So of those 3 wins, Conrad, Apo, Salesianum, which one meant more to you?
Honestly, I'd have to go with Sally's because that's just our rivalry. It really is. Just a big-time game. Just got to come down to the end like usual. So got to pull it out.
All right, there's one for Sally's.
I mean, for me, it's Apo just because of how much they talked after the game last year, and we paid them back.
All right, 1-1.
I got to say Sally's just because we walked it off.
I'm going Sally's. That's 3 for Sally's. I'll say Apo since I haven't beaten them. since this year.
All right.
I gotta say Sally's. They always been a rivalry to the school, and I don't like Sally's.
I'm so sorry that our coworker Mike Lang, who went to Salesianum, is not here tonight to hear this, because I would love for him to hear this stuff. Love it. Love it. I'm not going to give you my
Let's just say
my
the
viewpoint.
state's divided sometimes on who they like. You know, you can be Republican or Democrat. You know, you could be Salesian or St. Mark's.
Yeah. Coach, tomorrow you take on DMA at
tough
home.
team.
Big game for you guys. It's going to be our first state ortho game of the week, and that's one of our main sponsors, and they like to sponsor what's the best game coming up. So what do you know about DMA so far? What do you expect coming out of the Seahawks?
I'll tell you what. Let's go to the kids first.
All right,
let's
fine.
let them answer what we think about
Let's
DMA.
start on this end this time.
Yeah, here we go.
We'll start here, and we'll work the other way.
Well, I know DMA is a really solid team, and they have a great pitcher on the mound tomorrow, and we just gotta be ready for them and stay locked in.
Okay.
They got good players, and it's going to be tough tomorrow at the plate. We just got to battle and play well defensively, and we'll win the game.
They're just all around a good team, fielding, pitching, and hitting wise. So we just got to come ready to play.
Yeah, they're definitely pretty solid. Got some good wins under their belt.
Right.
They definitely got the firepower to handle a lot of good teams, and I'm pretty excited to see what we can do.
I mean, I'm definitely excited to play them tomorrow. We all know that they're a really good team and that it's going to be a good game, so I'm excited for it.
Sir, like they all said, they're a good team. Just got to come out prepared and play our game. Just do our own thing. Just got to get the win.
All right, we're going to start right with you again. The next question is going to be, this is your senior year. After graduation, what are your plans after high school?
My plans after my senior year of high school is to go to Wilmington University to continue my academic and athletic career.
Okay.
Same here. I'm going to be right with them at Wilmington.
I'm going to be going to the University of Delaware.
Okay.
I'm playing baseball at Randolph-Macon College.
I'll be playing at Wilmington University with these two.
I'll be going to the University of Delaware for accounting.
Okay, a couple of UDs, a little bit of Wilmington U, Randolph-Macon. All right.
I've already been to the
spread
school of
out.
hard knocks.
Spread out.
I've already been to the school of hard knocks.
Yeah. All right. It's time for the hard-hitting questions, guys. We're going to get serious here now. Walk-up music. What's your walk-up song?
My walk-up song would be Green Light by Lil Durk.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go with Boomin' by Baby Keem.
Buffalo Soldier by Bob Marley.
I'm probably going They Roll by Nipsey Hussle.
I'm going to go Out the Way by Yeet.
I'm going to go India Part 3 by Lil Durk.
Coach, what's your walk-up music?
Listen, in my playing days, your man behind he already knows mine was Stranglehold back in our semi-pro days.
There you
And,
go.
I'm old school, so I'm a little bit older.
I know.
Ted Nugent, it was a great song.
You don't want to hear old school. I could tell you old school, buddy.
Engelbert Humperdinck?
No, not there. We don't go there. Classic rock. All right, another hard-hitting question. We're here at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes.
Your order of wings. What's your go-to dipping sauce? Ooh, tough question.
Barbecue.
I'm a fan of lemon pepper wings.
Honey barbecue.
I went with mild tonight.
Ketchup.
That's a first. We've never had anybody say ketchup before.
I'm usually a lemon pepper kind of guy.
I like the medium sauce, but I mix it with the garlic Parmesan sauce.
Yeah.
I'm a heavy guy, so I like heavy sauces. So
I'm with you there.
yeah.
Well, hey, good luck the rest of the season, your senior season. You guys are off to a great start. We appreciate you coming on the show. Good luck tomorrow against
Appreciate
DMA, as we'll have you on our game of the week.
Everybody come out tomorrow. Watch a great game. It's going to be at Newark National. I mean, you got two of the top teams in the state. What a great complex to watch a game at. And, it's either watch us or watch the Phillies, right? Come out and watch us.
And the Phillies are like, yeah.
Old Spartans.
Yeah.
It's a day game anyway, so come out and watch St. Mark's DMA.
Yeah. Again, we appreciate it, guys. Thanks a
Appreciate
lot.
it.
Thanks for having
We'll
me.
have more on the Delaware Live Weekly right after these messages. Let's get a picture of you guys.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris. I would always pass by Ferris.
High Five Hospitality, founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise to Delaware. To date, they operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings in Delaware and Maryland. Also the Stone Balloon and Limestone Barbecue. And let's not forget Expectation. And 5 Jersey Mikes throughout Delaware. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality. High Five Hospitality, founded in 2004 when 3 guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise to Delaware. To date, they operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings in Delaware and Maryland. Also the Stone Balloon and Limestone Barbecue. And let's not forget Expectation. And 5 Jersey Mikes throughout Delaware. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier?
Welcome back to Delaware Live Sports Weekly here at Christiana's Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm Glenn Frazier, joined shortly by Nick Halliday, and our thanks to Coach Ratt and the St. Mark's baseball team for coming on and joining us with his core of seniors, and also thanks to head coach Dan Pisani, Archmere softball, and the 2 players, the 2 seniors that he had on the show, Dory Connor and Ryan Vitola. All right, let's take a look at our top 10s now on the show. We'll begin with softball. And number 1 right now was Delmarva Christian coming into the week, but it was our game of the week last night at Caravelle, and Delmarva Christian fell for the first time this season to the Buccaneers by a score of 5-4 in walk-off fashion in 8 innings. So there will be a new number 1 at the end of the week, and my guess is probably it'll be Caravelle Academy, because Sussex Central also lost yesterday, and they were ranked number 2. They fell to Lake Forest. All right, so after Caravelle, it's Apo, St. Mark's, Milford, Smyrna, and Laurel will flip-flop because Laurel beat Smyrna yesterday. Indian River, Polytech, and Polytech lost to the Indians, so we'll probably sneak Lake Forest in there at number 10. That's the softball top 10.
So, Glenn, talk about it a little bit. You said, Delmarva Christian Falls last night to Caravelle, so we'll probably have a new number 1 next week. But break down this a little bit. Talk about some of these teams and Caravelle coming in with an 8th grade pitcher.
Right.
Coming in that game.
Coach Randy Johnson told me before that night, and he said yesterday, listen, I've got an 8th grader, lefty, who's really, really going to be good. I'd love to get her into a game, and I think that was her first game action on the varsity level last night against Delmarva Christian, and she came in and was lights out.
Just come right in and do what you got to do, right? Like no pressure.
She came in.
She pitched well.
I think it was the bottom or top of the 4th inning when she came in, and she put out a little bit of a jam when she struck out 4 of the first 5 batters that she faced.
And I believe she gets the win, right?
She got the win because Caravel had to come back and win that ball game. Delmarva Christian has a stud in Kaylin Yoder. There's no doubt. I think she was a little bit off last night, but let's credit Caravel for putting the ball in play.
7 hits off of her right after she pitched a complete game, perfect game with 20 Ks out of 21 batters against Appo, and that's not a easy task when you're the number 4 team in the state like that.
Not at all. Brian Timpson has a great program down there in Middletown with the Appo Jags, and it was a rough night or rough day for them down at Georgetown when they faced Yoder for sure. Some of the other teams, Sussex Central, we saw Madge Layfield last night at the game. Yeah, so she played, and then she drove all the way up to watch the end of our ball game, and I tell you what, she's a great kid.
She is. She's such a sweetheart. She told us some issues that happened in that game versus Lake Forest, things that were not normal for her. We all know. She's already pitched for 3 years in this state, 500 strikeouts in 2 seasons. I'm a little upset from what she told us last night, but we'll hope that stuff gets straightened out by her, because Madge is a great person, and she even comes up and talks to us and knows all of us by name. I mean, what a great person she is.
I'm sure they'll bounce back.
Yeah.
Coach Wells will have them right back in the mix.
Correct.
But you take those top 3 teams, and I think any one of them right now could win a state title. There's a good parity this year in softball. So we have Appo at 4, St. Mark's with Carly Maxton in the circle. She's been doing a good job this year. They've only lost once, and that loss was to Laurel. Laurel knocked them off.
Yeah.
It was last Saturday. Milford has been cruising along. I haven't really said a lot about the Milford Buccaneers, but they only have 1 loss. That was to the Golden Knights. And I look at their schedule, they might run the table after that.
I have not seen them yet. Obviously, they've had years of where they've been up and down. It's been, kind of recently up and down for them.
Yeah.
But I would like to see them. They beat a William Penn team. That's a tough team.
Yeah.
So give them credit for that. We'll see how the rest of their schedule turns out for them.
Rest of our top 10 are all Henlopen teams, and as I mentioned earlier, Laurel beat Smyrna yesterday, so we'll flip-flop them at the end of the week in the top 10. And then Indian River knocked off Polytech. Polytech's played a really tough schedule.
Yeah.
And so they're now 4 and 5.
Well,
We're
Polytech
probably going to sneak Lake Forest in that top 10 because they're 8 and 3 now with that win over Central.
Yeah, and Polytech beat Redline, and if I'm correct, Mara Everton threw a no-hitter, which we'll talk about her in a little bit too. So it's tough. That's going to be fun and a great tournament heading into. We're going to be heading into it with all these good teams sitting up here right now.
24 schools will qualify for the softball DIAA tournament. Top 8 receive first-round byes. And if you go beyond that top 10, teams that we're considering are Middletown, Padua, Lake Forest, DMA, and Cape's come on and has been playing pretty well too. So we're really looking forward to, hopefully, weather permitting, we'll get that game in Saturday with Archmere and Cape.
Well, we're about to hop into baseball, and since we're shorthanded, I'm running double duty. I'm going to go send us to commercials so we can come back and do baseball, okay?
We'll do that. So Nick will step aside. And again, when we come back on Delaware Live Sports Weekly from Buffalo Wild Wings and Christiana, we'll talk some baseball rankings right after this.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the raw bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you soon. I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Lupo Italian Kitchen in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Come check us out. Located inside the Hotel Rehoboth, Lupo serves coastal Italian cuisine with fresh pasta made in-house daily. Lupo features plenty of unique craft cocktails and an extensive award-winning all-Italian wine list. Popular dishes include lobster bucatini, veal meatballs, grilled swordfish, and eggplant parmesan. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue, serving happy hour daily and dinner 7 days a week. See you soon.
Welcome back to our Spring Sports Edition. Midway through the season here at Christiana's Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm Glenn Frazier with Nick Halliday. Time now to take a look at the top 10 in boys baseball. And we just had Coach Rat and the St. Mark's Spartans here with a little interview and have a little fun with them. They are ranked number 1. The record is not correct. They are 11-0, and they play DMA tomorrow in our first state ortho game of the week. Then we have the Cape Henlopen Vikings at number 2, followed by Sussex Tech, the Ravens at 3. So Cape and Sussex Tech, only one loss. Same thing for number 4 DMA, the one loss. And DMA, we had number 1, right?
Yeah, we did. But they fell last week in a tough game to Tower Hill. So,
Okay.
you know.
After they got that loss to Conrad, after you had them on the show. I mean, yeah, they beat Conrad.
Yeah, they beat Conrad after they lost to Tower Hill.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's Tower Hill right there, number 7. They were not ranked, so we moved them in the top 10. And then you have Archmere baseball at number 8, Caravel at 9. Again, both teams not ranked previously. And then at number 10, undefeated Sanford at 9-0. They dropped down a little, but still in the top 10.
Yeah, for Sanford, the thing about them is they really haven't played a lot of tough competition yet.
Okay.
9-0 schedule, just, you know, they're not playing, you know, the best competition, any of the top. They haven't beat any of the top teams in this list right here. So
okay.
Until they really start to beat some of those teams, it's going to be tough for them to go up. But they are undefeated. So.
Now, we talked about parity in softball. Do you see the same thing here in baseball? As any one of a number of teams can win a title?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be again, it's going to be a great postseason here with these teams also. You know, Indian River, they beat Apo. I mean, we haven't talked about Indian River baseball in a little bit. Sussex Tech, who has a good team, yet to see them yet, but you know, they also they beat St. George's. St. George's is a good team too.
Okay.
They're right sitting outside of the top 10. You know, and then you have Conrad, Tower Hill, Archmere. Tower Hill is beat DMA, and if I'm correct, they also beat Conrad.
Okay.
If I'm correct, but they've had a couple of big wins lately, so we have to move them up here into the top 10.
And of course, both Cape Henlopen and Apo made deep runs last year in the playoffs. We saw Cape up at Frawley.
Cape won it all.
Right.
They had a tough team last year. A lot of good arms. I have yet to see them this year, but they're still right there in the top rankings, as you can see right now, sitting at number 2. They've been top 5 all year.
Yeah, so some solid traditional programs up there in our baseball top 10 for sure, and looking forward to the game of the week tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have DMA and St. Mark's. DMA suffered a tough loss to Tower Hill last week, which they faced a good pitcher in Coyne at Tower Hill. He's a legit pitcher.
Okay.
But they have bats 1 through 9 and a ton of arms over there at DMA, and St. Mark's is the same. So I think tomorrow's going to be a great battle. You know, like Coach Rat said, it's a 4 o'clock game.
Right.
Come down to Newark National Little League. It's a nice place to watch. But it's going to be a game of 2 powerhouses tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
All right, Nick, it sounds good. And what's next up on the program?
Well, next up, I'm going to go run a commercial for us real fast. We're going to come back. We're going to do top performers.
Hey.
You get to do top plays by yourself tonight, though.
Okay, top performers and top plays. Can't wait.
If you can do top plays, if not, we can hold off till, you know, but it's up to you.
All right, we'll see what happens. It's all up in the air. Right here on Delaware Live Sports Weekly.
I'm going to go run a commercial. I'll be back.
All right. Do you hear that, folks? And there goes Nick. We'll be right back here at Buffalo Wild Wings, B-Dubs, in Christiana, Delaware, after this.
the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Time now on the show for us to talk to you about the feature of top players, top performers in the past week. We're going to begin with Kaylin Yoder from Delmarva Christian, who pitched a perfect game against Apo, struck out 20 of the 21 batters that she faced. Oh, and yes, she hit a home run. She has 4 on the season. Also, Mara Everton from Polytech. She threw a no-hitter with 14 strikeouts in a win over Red Lion in a 9-0 win in high school softball. Next up, Jackson Red from Wilmington Friends School. He reached 100 goals in his career. Congratulations, Jackson. Nick Winchell from Friends scored 11 goals, dished out 5 assists in 3 Quaker wins last week as they are undefeated and 10-0 on the season. Up next, Stu Madden from Del Tech Baseball. The coach won his 100th career since 2018, his 100th career coaching win. Overall record, 107 wins, 63 losses, and 1 tie. Guy Wilkins, Del Tech softball coach, won his 150th game in his career since 2016 when he took over the program. He has an overall record of 151, 64, and 1. Now, the top plays, we're going to get those updated for you and up on the website. As Nick Alessandrini is feeling a little under the weather, he's going to put that together for you, and you can check that out up on the website. Once again, we want to thank number 1 St. Mark's, Coach Rad and his team for being here. They take on number 4 DMA tomorrow at 4 from Newark Little League. And then Archmere, who plays also tomorrow, softball at Conrad. We'll have them, weather permitting, live Saturday as they visit Cape Henlopen at noon. Remember to tune in live next week on Wednesday at 7. Keep an eye on our social media platforms. And we thank you for tuning in and viewing. That'll do it from us here. For Nick Halliday, I'm Glenn Frazier. Thanks again to Archmere, Coach Pisani, and players, Coach Rad and St. Mark's Baseball for being on the show tonight. Thanks for viewing. We'll see you down the road.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.